Right. Okay. Hi guys, it's Nick. I'm here with Tom again. We're just going to have a bit of a catch up. So hi there, Tom. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, busy but good. Yeah, enjoying a day off. I was absolutely throwing it down this morning, so I didn't make it along to the car boots at all. So it's probably a blessing in disguise because I've gone a bit mad. But I still managed to sneak along to a charity shop and picked up some retro gaming stuff. So which is always nice.
Yeah. I thought you had stopped picking up though. Didn't you say recently that you were going to call it quits for a while?
Yeah, I lasted a week. I didn't buy anything for a week, and then I've gone. I'm off the wagon again. So
Right.
yeah,
So
I'm
what
not
did you
good.
manage to pick up in the charity shops?
Oh, so if you want, I picked up. I'll probably do a video about this, but I was wandering around the charity shop and I saw this nice printed out eBay thing there, and it was
Dreamcast.
for a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And they'd looked. It says Dreamcast bundle, and it's got a buy it now price. See if that'll come out of $69.99, and this was an active listing because I typed in the ID number and it's still going. So it's not a sold listing. It's the classic. They've just gone on there and typed in and probably pressed highest first, and it's just Dreamcast with. It's got a load of games and stuff like that. So they got it priced at $29.99. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't have bothered with that, but it's got some quite cool games, and it's got like 2 controllers, 2 guns. So they're the sort of money bits. I mean, the Dreamcast itself will probably only go for. Well, I might be able to get 30 quid out of it. It's pack tested as well, which is quite cool. But yeah, so it came with some cool games. Came with like Royal Rumble, Tomb Raider, House of the Dead. So some pretty decent ones. So that was pretty cool. And then
I think that House of the Dead is a light gun game, isn't it? So you could probably sell that with one of the guns or the pair of guns.
and then I picked up 2 sets of GameCube bongos.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I had some of them.
a GameCube. I mean, the GameCube is actually the least valuable part of it. It's all the accessories is where the money's at. I can't shift GameCubes. I've got about 8 of these, but it was 20 quid, and there's the 2 sets of bongos. Now, I've already got the game for one of these anyway without the bongos, so the bongos don't go for much money at all. I mean, they maybe go top end of fiver, really. But the controller's where the money's at, because you can get 12 quid just for the controller. And if you sell the leads, it's a bit like Wii's. If you sell the leads and everything, that's where the money's at. And the GameCube's almost a throwaway item because you can play them on the Wii. No one's really that bothered about them.
Yeah, the controllers always do well because people use them on their Wii's for playing Mario Kart and other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always do well on
So
those.
that's where the money's at. And then the last thing I got was a pair of Doc Martens,
Nice.
size 6, Doc Marten Industrial, and they were 6 quid. In good nick as well. So I've done well on Doc Martens before. So yeah. Oh, and then there's something else. It was GTA 5. What's it called? The user guide thing.
Yeah, strategy guide.
Yeah, and then I did pick up something else. I'll do another video about this as well. But I picked up some graphic novels, but from the 80s. You can see that.
That looks cool.
Yeah, but the cool thing about the others, I paid 15 quid each for these from an Oxfam. And on Amazon they go for about 30, 40. But this one is signed, and the artist has done a little doodle on it as well.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so don't know on that one. I might have some silly price like 80 quid or something and see how I go. But
Would you do that on eBay so you can show all the pictures of that?
yeah, I'd also do that on eBay. And then these were from CEX with some credit. I got one that goes for a surprising amount. Star Trek Armada goes for like 10 quid.
Yeah.
It's quite a good game to pick up, and there's Star Trek Armada 2, which goes for even more money. But yeah, I bought this for 50p from CEX, so I think someone had priced it wrong, and then I got this other one called Hooligans, which doesn't go for a ton of money. It goes for like, you can maybe get a 4 or 5 quid, but it's 15p, which is crazy. I mean, it's mental, really. So yeah, that's about it, really.
Cool.
How about you?
I had to pop into Letchworth with Andrew and Ellen, and I went to a charity shop where they had all their media stuff. There's a big sign up saying all media 2 items for £1. So I grabbed a few bits. Ellen found 3 DVDs that she wanted, so I had those. And then nothing exciting at all, really. Winnie the Pooh BBC audiobook, worth about 4 quid.
Yeah.
These were all 50p. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, 3 or 4 quid. These are all complete with manuals. Pretty good, Nick. Guitar Hero 5 on the Wii, which had this price stick on it. They were originally asking, does that show up? £3.50, which is way over the odds. But at 50p I picked up. But even that's only worth 3 or 4 or 5 at top end.
Yeah, gone down a lot. I mean, you'll do all right. It'll sell quick, but you won't get much money for it.
No. But at 50p, I thought I'll grab one. Call of Duty, what I tend to do with these is wait until I've got 3 or 4 of the different old Call of Duties, and then you can get about a tenner for 3 or 4 of those. It's the same with Medal of Honor.
Yeah, I've got them here behind me, actually.
Oh yeah.
So just a little bundle of the Medal of Honors.
That's it. No, I've got those 2, but I don't have Frontline and Rising Sun.
Yeah.
What works really well.
I've got Rising.
Frontline and Rising Sun and these, and then you get £12 to £15 for the 4.
I think I've got that on for a tenner with free postage, something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
And same with these. I'll probably do these as a pair for about 6. That's San Andreas and the old Vice City, but it goes better if you get GTA 3 with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then, because it was 2 for £1, it worked out. Everything was 2 for £1, and I had an odd number, so I needed to grab one more, and I grabbed that, which is an old PC game. But avoid it. It's not worth anything.
It's funny. This big box, you would think it would be worth something, but
yeah. I mean, back in the day when we sort of the time we first had our gaming shop, this was quite sought after and it held its money for a while. But now, I looked on eBay and they're like 50p or £1 people are selling them for. So yeah, that was a fail. But the others, you know, pretty bog standard stuff. But I'll make a bit on those.
No, that's cool. Yeah, PS2 games just seem to be really cheap. I bought Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. It was from Cash Generator and it was 50p. So, and they were doing pretty much all their PS2 games was 50p. So they were clearing out. And like I said to you, they were doing CDs desperately cheap.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be like chain wide.
Yeah,
I think they're all franchised anyway, aren't they? So
yeah, I think they're all franchised, but it's worth checking in those sort of places. You know, your Cash Generator, your CEX. You never know. They do occasionally slip up. I bought a PS1 controller from it wasn't Cash Generator. I think it was one of the other ones. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a quid, and you know, always useful to have. So
yeah. So what have you been up to then? You were just telling me before we started that you've picked up a new gadget.
Yeah, it's a what's it called? It's I can't remember the name of it. It's a CD disc repair machine. I've been umming and ahhing about it for a while, really. What's it called? This is very unprofessional. Yeah, essentially, it's a CD polishing machine. It's one of the ones that is it GilDaddy, that channel that they've reviewed before. It's called the JFJ Easy Pro CD repair machine, and it was 140 quid, which is about the going sort of rate. I mean, they're about 300 on Amazon, so I got it off eBay, and I haven't tried it out yet, but all the reviews seem pretty decent. It's sort of semi-pro mid-level machine, which is it's not really the hobby. It's not like the Dr. Skip things, which they're all right, but this has also got sandpaper as well, so you can get those really deep gouges as well. So
did you buy it brand new, or is it a
brand new? Yeah, brand new, and it comes with some of the fluid, and you can buy the fluid online, the polishing compound. So I'm going to give it a whirl, because before I was taking my CDs to a guy at a market who'd got exactly the same machine, and he would charge between £1 and £1.50 a disc, depending on how many you took. And I've probably got 60 or more discs that have got scratches, because when I sell them on Amazon, they've got to be absolutely immaculate, complete with manual. Otherwise, I don't bother, because it's not worth the hassle. It really isn't. So I thought I'd just jump into it, and I come across so many scratch CDs that it's silly not to.
Yeah, I think I said to you before, we had one when we had the shop. It was like, it almost looked like a little bread maker, had a flip up top, and we had to have these different solutions that we put in. But I was finding I was spending so long fiddling around with it, because I could only do one disc at a time, and it wasn't automated.
Yeah.
And so we ended up, I found this chap who was doing it like as a sort of part-time business from his home, and he'd go to game shops and DVD rental shops and stuff and take all of their scratch stuff away, and it worked out time-wise so much better for me. I think I paid him, worked out about £1 a disc.
Yeah.
So we'd just save up all our scratch stuff and give them to him once a week when he bought back last week's batch, and I sold my machine in the end online and got rid of it. But they are good. The best ones are really expensive, but they do it all automated for you, so you put a stack in and it just churns through them all, but you're talking hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of pounds for that.
Yeah, they're over £1,000 at least. I mean, you know, maybe down the road if I got to that point, but I think because, especially at the car boots, you get people at the end of the car boot that've still got loads of CDs, and the amount of times I've bought job lots. I bought a job lot of 54 PC games for £3, just because the guy just wanted rid. He just didn't care. Most of those were scuffed, but some of them were pretty decent. Like there was like old chess games, which bizarrely enough have got quite good resale apparently. These weird sort of chess grandmaster test yourself games, which I would have never thought were worth money, but worth like £7, £8, £9. Some of them are for these sort of throwaway games, but they all need polishing.
Yeah, it is surprising with the PC stuff, especially the old stuff, because you think surely you could just download that from some site, or I don't know. Plus they're on like really old versions of Windows, a lot of them, and you think, who's going to be able to run them? I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand the market. I mean, I talked to Joe about this, and because he's doing a lot with software. I mean, I've kind of got into that myself. I bought a Windows 2007 Works, Office, like all the Works, Excel, all that. And that goes for like 50, 60 quid on eBay, but I have absolutely no idea if all the users have been used. So it's kind of like, I'm saving up a batch of those, and then I'll list them on another account I've got, because I don't want to really risk it with my own account.
Yeah, I've sold a fair amount of that in the past, and I just kind of just go for it. I mean, worst case scenario, they get it and they find that for whatever reason they can't use it, and then I just kind of take that chance. And as long as you offer wonderful service and just say, hands up, my fault, give them a full refund, you shouldn't end up with bad feedback. But I've never had that problem. I've sold loads of older Windows discs, done really well with Photoshop stuff. I picked up an Adobe Photoshop, which I think was for a Mac. It was a village fete in the village I used to live. I used to live in a village called Datchworth, not that far from here, and I always go down to the fete, and they had these boxes of software, and at the end everything was 25p, so I pulled out all this software, and one of them was Adobe Photoshop something or other, and I got about 80 odd quid for that.
Yeah, I've had Adobe Elements before, and that's like, I think that's like 30, 40 quid, and that sold instantly. I mean, like, within 10 minutes of me listing it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, mine did. I think if you pitch it at the right sort of money and do a nice listing, there's always someone looking for it, so it just goes straight away. It's the same with, I had Microsoft Office for Mac, which is super sought after, and I got that in a charity shop, I think. It might have been a boot sale for a couple of pounds, and that was just sold within minutes of it going up for 30, 40 quid.
Yeah, I've also done all right with antivirus software as well.
Okay.
I stick to the main brand stuff like Norton and things like that, and they've always been fine, really. I've sold those in the past. They don't sell for a ton, but this, you'll get 10, 15 quid, something like that. And what
Yeah.
often I've found is someone buys a computer, they say they get it from PC World, they get thrown in a free antivirus with 50 quid. They install it on that one computer, but then there's still 2 users left on it. So, and then it just sits around in a box, and then they take it to the car boot sale. So,
Right. So I was never sure. I've never really got involved in that because I wasn't sure if they were one-use things. But if you
yeah.
can install it on multiple PCs, like you say, your chances are it'll be
Well,
absolutely fine.
I go for the older ones because, well, just that's what I come across mostly. But you would think that it would be like 3 PCs but the same IP address. But it does say on the back 3 PCs. So I'm assuming. I mean, they've sold in the past, and I've never had any kind of comeback on them. So, but I always do check it's got multiple. It will say like good for 3 PCs or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, So, don't know, but yeah, I know Joe's been killing it with that sort of stuff. I know he's been doing really good.
Yeah. I watched. He uploaded another couple
Yeah,
recently, and the quality of stuff that he gets down there. I mean, he's in. Well, he's not far off central London, sort of Greenwich
yeah, he's in
area.
the thick of it, isn't he? Yeah,
So it's quite an affluent area. I mean, when you see the trainers and the shoes he picks
yeah,
up, just don't see that around here at all. But yeah, he amazes me the amount of money he makes on this
yeah.
stuff.
It is. I have contemplated actually. I've costed up how much it would cost me to drive down from the Midlands to London to go to a car boot sale to bring it back because it just seems like a crazy gold mine. So yeah, funny.
Yeah, but you imagine how early would you have to set off
Oh God.
to get to London for about 7 in the morning?
Yeah, I'd have to set off at like 4 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get up that early, but yeah, um, yeah,
I might go out tomorrow. The weather, well, you were saying that it was peeing it down where you were this
yeah,
morning. It's been really nice, and then all of a sudden we'll get a thunderstorm,
yeah.
and they're just blowing in and blowing out again. So I don't know. I've no idea what the forecast is for tomorrow, but
No, it
getting
doesn't.
the withdrawal symptoms, I need to go out and buy some junk.
Yeah, yeah. I think it needs to be done. I mean, as I text you, unfortunately, it's sad times all round because my trolley has met its maker. It is no more. Um,
Yeah. So
yeah,
what happened? The wheels fell off.
Yeah, I'd gone. This was when I fell off the wagon last at the bank holiday on the Monday, and yeah, basically it's the same one as yours, but the back support, the entire steel strut just bent in like that, so the back wheel was touching the front wheel. So I'm able to bend it back, and it's kind of all right. But this field where the car boot is, there's loads of little dips and stuff like that. So I've decided I'm going to try and design and build some Uber trolley, which is good for like off-roading or something. Maybe with like I thought I could do it with like a golf cart motor in it, so it kind of drives itself along. I think that would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they do those, don't they? Like the little pull-along golf ones with a
yeah,
little electric motor in.
yeah. So because it's just not robust enough for going off road. It's not that I'm putting it with so much stuff. It's just the surface is so uneven that it's not. It'd be all right if you like that hard standing car boot we went to. It'd be fine on something like that, but in a field it's useless. So.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows of any good quality, I mean, I paid like 30 quid for it, so you'd think it'd be robust, but literally after the second use, I'd broken a load of the welds down the side just with the shaking. So
Yeah. Mine seems to be holding up. I think mine was the same brand as
yeah,
yours and everything. I
yeah,
don't know. And I've used mine. Must have done 15, 20 car boots with it,
yeah,
and it's been okay. And I fill it full of crap and put a whole load of stuff in. I think I showed it in one video where I had it full with CDs, and the weight must have been colossal.
yeah,
Mind you, that was the that one in Stevenage we went, so that's on concrete. So, mind you, even there's quite a few divots and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's done all right. I think you may have just been unlucky. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. But it was quite funny actually because the guy who I saw at the car boot, he recognised me because he spotted the trolley, apparently. Yeah.
The guy, when we were selling at that boot sale the other week, and I think I said in one of the videos that a chap came up to me and he was looking at me and he goes, "It's Nick, isn't it?" And I said, yeah. Thinking, do I know you? And he said, "Yeah, I watch your videos." And I wasn't sure if it was you. But then I saw Monty in the car and I knew it was you. So I thought, he recognised and knew the name of my dog. How random is that?
Yeah, it is quite unnerving, really. But it's nice in a way. It is nice.
Yeah, he was a lovely guy. He must be local because he came to a local boot sale.
Yeah.
So I'll probably meet him again in the shop sometime.
Yeah, I'm thinking about organising like maybe a resellers meetup towards the end of the summer, something like that. I think it'd be a good idea. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we could no doubt get together somewhere, find somewhere that's kind of central to where everyone is. I mean, I don't know who get involved, but yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, definitely. But wait till the end of the summer when like when your shop's more settled and whatnot. So, is it going all right then? Is progress moving on?
It is. I'm just kind of frazzled, really. We've been working long and hard on it, and it's taken longer than we'd hoped. But well, you've probably seen the videos, but the shop fitting is all pretty much finished. The sign goes up on Monday. That looks epic. The sign writer guy that we found was amazing. So once the sign goes up, it's just a case of how long it's going to take us to price. We want to put out at least 2,000 items, ideally. But we didn't kind of factor in how long that's going to take because they've all got to be tagged, which is quite fiddly, and we're pricing them, and it's plus we haven't really sorted out, what age goes everywhere and how we're going to break that down. Then we've got to do the separate signage for the racks, and so yeah, we were aiming for the 16th to be open. I'm thinking we're going to sail straight past that now. So I think all in all, it's going to end up. It will have taken us the whole 2 months rent-free period by the time we get the door open. So it's not too bad considering we won't have paid a penny's rent on that. So yeah, but I reckon we're a week and a half, 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it'll earn us some money. If not, I'm going to have to be selling an awful lot of this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, so yeah, you'll have to let everybody know when the opening party is then.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about a party. We'll just be like lying asleep at the back.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do much promotion or have a big launch because we kind of want to do a soft opening and just get all the systems up and running and find out how it all works really. Because the last thing we want is people queuing up with sacks full of clothing.
Yeah.
Because we've got way too much stock anyway, and we don't want to be turning people away the moment we open.
Yeah, it's
to be quite slow build, you know what I mean? So we won't have a big launch, but everybody who watches my channel is welcome to come down, have a free cup of tea. Actually, quite a number of people have said on my YouTube channel that if they're ever in the area, they're going to look me up and come down, which is great. I love meeting people that watch my YouTube channel. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's good publicity as well, word of mouth. It's all good.
Absolutely. So you were saying you're busy redecorating. I can see in the background actually you're.
Yeah, and big news. The door that's in the background of my YouTube videos has now been hung. So I will do that in a video. So there will be no longer a stained glass door thing in the background of my normal videos. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is it all glossed and painted and all that, or
no? Kept it natural wood. Decided that looked better for now. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been focusing on two things really: Amazon and doing work on my house. So, but the Amazon thing, I sent out 24 boxes in the last 2 weeks. So I've been going mad. But yeah, it's good. I've had a few issues with Amazon that I bought some PS3 controllers new and sealed from the car boot. I think I paid $5 each, but they were like, they looked really close to the Sony ones, but they were like Chinese knockoffs. But they were still all right. But there was an Amazon listing, so I sent them in, and there was only one other seller that was in China, and I sent them into Amazon and priced them a bit below what they were selling them for. And as soon as they hit Amazon, I got my account suspended because they had contacted Amazon and said that I was infringing on their intellectual property and copyright by selling them. So I had to get them returned and basically apologize to this company before I could get my account reinstated. So it completely shut me down for like 3 days. Crazy,
so
really.
the firm in China own the rights to these things?
Yeah, own the right to these knockoff controllers, essentially.
But
I know.
I'm not sure. I didn't think people could do that because it's Amazon's platform, and they obviously had the option for someone else like you to sell yours.
Yeah.
So why?
They said basically it's not their responsibility, and that me as a vendor has to check that items that I'm selling aren't infringing upon someone else's copyright. Basically, I took that as if there's only just one other person selling it and they look like a manufacturing company, then don't list it. But it was kind of having to read between the lines of what the reps were saying. But really, they shouldn't let you list it. If they should just be a restricted category. But it was just really like, it just shows, because with FBA, I mean, I'm financially blackmailed because they've got 4,500 items of mine, and if they suddenly decide to shut down my account, then they would then charge me to get those returned at about 50p a pound a piece.
Yeah.
So you are, blackmailed in order to do that. But it's just one of those little things that I never realised. So, but it's resolved now. My account's back to normal, and all is good.
Good. I've been putting more on Amazon recently just because I don't have the hours to sort out and do listings on eBay. So I've been scanning. I've put a number of board games on. Oh, actually, well, some were shown in that video I did the other day.
Yeah, you got some good ones.
And I've been seriously contemplating, depending on how much time our new business takes of mine, FBA may well be the solution for me to keep doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, all you've got to do is source the stock and then box it up, and etc. And then you don't see it again. So yeah, I may become an FBA convert at some point. I don't know. It just depends how the shop.
Yeah.
Plus, also the trouble is, a lot of what I do and a lot of where I make my really good money is like the retro toys and the Lego and all of this.
Yeah.
And Amazon just isn't the place for that. So I'd have to keep doing eBay.
Yeah.
For some stuff anyway.
I mean, what I'd say, I mean, I'll talk you through it one time, but really, I would suggest it only for pristine stuff. Like really not, like, if something's new and sealed or something's really nice, you will get 50% more on Amazon than you would on eBay. 50% more cash for that top end stuff, because it's really for essentially the lazy customers who've got Amazon Prime, or just order that. And they can't be bothered to go on eBay and hunt out the deals or wait for auctions to finish. They just want it, and they want it now. So it's really, for the premium stuff, it's best. But for me, it's great time saving. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do up this house if it wasn't for that, because I'd be forever boxing the packaging stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that takes up so much of my time, just the packaging. I mean, it's not at the moment because I'm not selling masses, but when I'm up to speed on it and I'm doing, 30 plus items a day, that's half your day sometimes, just packaging.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always seen the big benefit and the draw of FBA. And what I think would work really well for me with FBA is all these deals I find online and in supermarkets.
Yeah.
I could just chuck it all up to FBA and leave it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. One day I'll take the plunge.
It's one of those things that it's good for essentially a pro seller who's stock rich and time poor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's certainly you got to wire your brain differently to try and get your head around it. But I mean, eBay's still brilliant. I mean, you can list something and it sells in 5 minutes. It's quick money, much quicker. I mean, it's real long tail, some of the stuff on there. But as you said, that retail arbitrage, things like ink cartridges, they're brilliant. They go all around the world. I mean, I've sent like ink cartridges that someone say bought a printer. Often Australia, people who've lived in the UK, they've got a printer, they've emigrated to Australia, and they've taken the printer with them. And they can't get the cartridges in Australia, so the only way they can get them is to order them through Amazon and get them from me.
Okay.
So little things like that, really.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else has happened. I can't think. But I've had some more graphic novels, but these are more Risqué graphic novels. They're the ones that have got the parental advisement. They're sort of let's try and find an image which isn't too dodgy. They're just quite sort of gory and that kind of a bit like Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the animated stuff.
Yeah, they're a bit like that, really. So
I've seen some graphic novels that are really like 18+ ones, and it tends to be the Japanese sort of horror sex sort of ones, and they are just bonkers, I tell you. I had some ages ago, and you sort of flick through and you're like, holy cow, these weird alien sort of monsters and these like little nubile Japanese women, and you're thinking, whoa, it's like really extreme.
Yeah, it's shocking. And that one it's got like full frontal nudity in it. I'm trying to find anything that's safe, but I can't find one. But yeah, let's see if we can you can see a leg there, and that's all I'll be able to show. It's like that was in the kids' book section. So I'd hate to think if someone, I'll buy this for Johnny, and then take it home to their 6-year-old kid or something.
I know. I've seen really quite not sort of hardcore stuff, but some manga stuff, and just because it's got an animated picture on the front, they chuck it in with like the Disney stuff in the charity shop, and you pick it up and like, that really shouldn't be there. Some 10-year-old does not want to watch this. Quick, move it somewhere else.
Yeah, but I mean, manga's one of those things that, especially on DVD, they seem to either be worth nothing or like 10 quid or more. It's weird.
Yeah, you need the obscure stuff, because the common stuff, Akira and all of that, that's sold in volume, you can get it so cheap through Amazon anyway. It's probably really cheap. Yeah. But I've done well with like box sets of obscure stuff and that kind of really far out there stuff. I've done well on.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to think what else I've done well on lately. I've still got some of those Star Trek DVDs. Did you manage to clear all those ones you had?
Yeah, they all went. I can't remember what I got on them. 20 or just over 20 quid, and they all went before Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you. You might like this. It's military uniforms and overseas. It's cigarette cards.
Oh, John Player, yeah. I think I've got that set actually in my collection.
It's a bit tired, but it's all there, and I think it was like 50p or a quid. They don't go for huge money, but you'll get. I think I've got this on for like 10 quid or something like 8 to 10 quid.
Yeah, that's a fairly late set, and it's a fairly common one, so it won't ever have much value.
Yeah.
It would probably have more value not in the album as well, ironically.
Yeah. So that's good. But no. Any plans for coming up other than the shop then?
No, I can't really think beyond that. We're just ploughing on and trying to get that open, and then we'll see how it goes for a couple of weeks, and then start promoting it. And yeah, I'm not really thinking beyond that at the moment. But I'm itching to start listing again, because I mean, it's been over a month now, and I've listed a handful of things, and it just doesn't feel right. I'm selling so few bits. I mean, Amazon's ticking along okay, and I've had a few nice sales out of Amazon, but yeah, I just need to. I've got thousands of pounds worth of gear in this room, but I just, you know, my hands are tied because I'm working full days down there. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to. We're actually talking about moving a lot of this down to the shop, so I can set this up out the back now, so I can be there to support Andrea and help her with that, and then just be piling stuff on the net while I'm down there. So we may do it that way, and then maybe do something different with this room. I don't know. I really don't know, mate. Yeah, but we've got family camping coming up at next bank holiday weekend.
Nice.
My side of the family, we all get together somewhere random. Somebody picks a campsite, and we all descend on this campsite and just have a long weekend. So that's always a good laugh. We play silly games and have lots of beer and barbecues. So I'm looking forward to that. Just having a weekend where I don't think about the shop, don't think about work. So we've got that coming up, which will be fun.
Good. Yeah, I'm going camping. I can't remember. I think it's either next weekend or the weekend after. There's a show called the Bushcraft Show, and it's sort of all survival skills and things like that. And there's on-site camping. So hoping to go along to that. I bought a tent last year. It might have even been the year before. It was a 6-man tent. It was £5. So I want to try that out. Give it a go.
Cool. So is your other half Lorna? Is it Lorna? Did I get that wrong? Yeah. Is she
no.
up for camping? Is she into all of that?
No. I'll be going with some of my mates. She's never been camping before, so yeah, I think it would have to be like, what do they call it? Glamping. Is it glamorous camping? Something like that.
That's it. Yeah. My sister, my youngest sister, had her wedding last summer, and we had one of these yurts. Like
they're nice. Yeah.
I mean, it had a proper bed in this tent. It was quite amazing. I mean, we paid a lot of money to have it at this wedding because they had a wedding that was like a festival. They kind of had their own mini festival, and we paid the £150 to have one of these glamping tents. It was well worth doing because we had, like I say, a full double bed in it and all of this stuff. But yeah, we tend to go with we've got like an 8-berth tent that we go with, so we have one pod and Ellen has the other one with Monty. But Andrea's not that keen on camping, to be perfectly honest. We did used to have a camper van. We had a great big Mazda Bongo camper van where the top went up and had a double room at the top. But I sold that about a year and a half ago because we just weren't using it enough, and it costs you a fortune to tax and MOT and everything else just to have it sat there. So unless you're going out in it 4 or 5 times a year, it's really not worth the expense.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So I sold that. I sold it on eBay actually, and got back what I paid for it like 2 or 3 years before. So I was quite happy with that.
That's great. A friend of mine sells camping stuff on eBay. He makes these. Do you know what geodesic dome is? It's like the dome from Crystal Maze, you know, that kind of faceted dome. And he makes tents that are that shape with like canvas covers and whatnot. Massive, huge things. I mean, he makes little ones as well, but he makes really big ones. And a lot of them he specifically designs to be used as steam rooms. So you get like hot rocks from a fire and it fills the whole thing with steam. And he can't make them quick enough. He sells loads of them, but he makes yurts as well. But I mean, he's constantly going. You know, he works all hours of the day to make these things to order. It's silly. So there's a huge market for that thing. I mean, like you with the camping gas canisters and stuff. It's
yeah. Well, I'd imagine that guy, he probably, because the festival thing is huge in this country now, isn't it? And I'd imagine a lot of people buy them for that. I don't know. Yeah. Well, actually, we're going to a festival. I've never really done the festival thing myself, but Andrea and I have treated ourselves, and we're going to an 80s revival festival. I think it's sort of September time later on this year, and there's like all of the old acts from the 80s. I can't remember who's going, but some big names. So and everybody dresses up in 80s outfits. So I don't know what I'm going to go. I fancy dressing up as a Ghostbuster. Or something like that. I don't know. or Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah, that'll be good. Oh, I've got one of the Indiana Jones hats. If you want to borrow it, I've got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to nearer the time, and I'll decide what my outfit is. If I need to, I'll let you know, and I can. Yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, that's going to be epic because I mean we get very little time to ourselves because we've got Ellen.
Yeah.
But we've managed to wangle it that we're going to go on our own, and she's going to go and stay with my parents.
Nice.
So that'll be nice to have a mini like break, just the two of us.
I hate to say it, but it will rain. You do realise that.
Oh, don't.
Well,
right. I'll have so many beers, I won't care what the weather is. Yay, singing along.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like selling wellies in the summertime. I'm guessing that's where a lot of them go to, festival goers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've done so well with adult wellies over the years, and yeah, stick them on at festival season. That's exactly where they go. Yeah. Like fancy wellies for women with like animal patterns on or bright colours. Just stick them on in the summer, and they sell for really good money. If you get like the high-end ones, sort of Hunter and Jules and that sort of stuff, get stupid money on those.
I've seen different sellers do sort of like festival bundles as well. So you've got like water carriers, torches. Is like a package deal, sort of like a festival survival kit. I've seen those do all right as well, mainly with like new items, because I know places like Poundland sells them and whatnot. So it's people just bundling it together and sort of adding a bit of perceived value onto it and selling it as a bundle.
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's a girl who is in America, but she used to live in the UK. She grew up in the UK. I think her name's Catherine Shelton. I don't know if you follow her.
Yeah, I think she was from Guernsey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Channel Islands originally.
Yeah.
And I watch her, and she does a lot of that where she was talking about on Amazon making her own products, and at Easter time she'll make up like an Easter egg hunt kit with a load of plastic eggs and a nice basket or whatever, and she buys it all in like cheap Dollar Tree stores or whatever they're called over there, Walmart and stuff, and she'll like get $5 worth of stuff out of the equivalent of Poundland, make her own product with its unique barcode, send it all into FBA and just sell the lot over the Easter weekend. And she does similar things at Christmas, Valentine's, and she does really well out of that sort of stuff by creating, so I don't know how you do it, but you can create your own product on Amazon, can't you?
Yeah, you can do it with pretty much every category other than media. You can't do it with media, I know that, because then people would try and do, say, what you've talked about with GTA, but yeah, you can do it in the UK, but I think they do it more in America because the Amazon market there is so saturated with sellers, merchant fulfilled and FBA. They're looking for that edge, that new way of being able to sell, because they're a bit in front of us with that. I mean, the UK will eventually become a bit like that, I sense. So it's there's definite money to be made there, because you can buy the barcodes off eBay already, like a whole 1,000 barcodes, and you just assign it to one of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know how the whole barcoding thing worked, whether you had to, how you get a unique number and all of that business. I have no idea with any of that.
Yeah, but basically I looked into it because there was some products that I was looking at from this wholesaler near me that hadn't got a unique product code. They potentially could sell quite well, and they got loads of them. So I contemplated getting it that, and then creating my own listing on Amazon. But the amount of hassle to do it, and unsure whether it would sell or it wouldn't sell, it was quite a sort of a gamble. So I never actually went for it. But you can buy them, and they send you, I think it's like an Excel spreadsheet where then you mark off any time you use one and what it is, and then you just print it out and stick it on the product.
Right, cool. Because I've considered, I don't know how this would work, but with my Magic the Gathering cards that I sell on eBay in different size packs, I don't know whether I could create a Amazon product for the different coloured packs and sell them on there as hundreds. The thing is, I know that other sellers would then come in and undercut me, and I don't know if I could do that. It might be restricted because I know Amazon are a supplier of Magic the Gathering, and I haven't seen used stuff on there, so it may be restricted anyway.
Yeah, you might be able to sell it in the collectible category, but it'd have to be in toys, not media, as I said. You might be able to do it. I'm not sure.
Because I also thought with Lego could you sell a kilo of mixed Lego? I've never seen anyone doing that on Amazon, so whether that's restricted as well.
I mean, because there are things like that, because I've seen people selling these collectible 50p's on Amazon. They've created their own listing, and loads of people have jumped on the bandwagon now, but you can get weird things like that on there. So I don't see why not. It's a bit of a palaver creating the listing, because especially with things like toys, you've got to know minimum age requirements, different safety stuff. They ask for loads of really weird information like that. So as long as you can find that out, I wouldn't think it'd be too much of a problem.
Yeah, but then again, is it worth going through all of that palaver when I know I can do it on eBay simply and get the same money? Plus, what the frustrating thing about Amazon, of course, is if you go to all the trouble of creating a listing, let's say for a kilo of Lego, and you want to sell it for 20 quid, get yours up there, and then within hours, I bet you somebody else would go, oh, well, I'm selling them on there now, and I'm going to be 15 quid. And then you're like, well, I went to all that effort of creating a product. At least with eBay, your listing is your listing, and it's alongside everybody else's, and you do have all that competition, but you can make yourself stand out, whereas with Amazon, you're all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what that Catherine does, is she includes products in her bundles which are maybe region-specific to her, so not everybody else in the US could get that exact same bundle of products.
Yeah,
and I think that's how. I think that's sort of the workaround, really.
Yeah, I suppose if you make it kind of unique, or you have it you have a specific bow on it, or you do it in a specific way, nobody else could really replicate your product, and then you're the only person. It's a unique product to you, so you've got no competition price-wise. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's what that GilDaddy does, which is private labeling, which is essentially getting the same product as everybody else can, but having a custom label on it, and that means you're the exclusive sort of rights holder to, a bit like that controller, I guess. They've got their own specific label on it, which is theirs, and the manufacturers have said you're the only one that's allowed to sell that with that label on it, so no one can compete against it.
Yeah.
But it seems, I don't know, there's a lot of podcasts on this sort of private label sourcing from China, and I'm sure it's a big thing, but it really doesn't interest me at all in any way. There's no excitement there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I briefly looked into trying to source stock. Well, it was before we closed the shop. I looked into sourcing stock from through Alibaba.
Yeah.
And I was going to do, because I used to buy my gaming accessories, like third-party stuff, from this firm. Can't remember the name of them now, but all of like your third-party Wii remotes and all of this stuff. And I used to spend a lot of money with this firm, and I realised that I could source them myself through Alibaba for pennies. And I looked into buying those in bulk and then selling them in our shop, but also selling them online and supplying other retailers. But what put me off was all of the problems with import tax and VAT and all of this malarkey, and the expenses and the importing stuff is not as easy as you might think. Not in the volumes I was talking about anyway. You might be able to get a small parcel through customs with no expense, but yeah, all of that red tape really put me off, and I never bothered going down that route.
Yeah, I know. It's something I've thought about, but it's not for me. It's not as exciting as walking to a boot fair, seeing a table and spotting that item that you instantly know that you can get 30 quid on eBay for, and they're asking 50p. To me, that's like a drug which I won't be able to let go of. And just clicking on a website and ordering some stuff isn't the same. No,
you're right. There's something. I don't. It's just fun. It's just the thrill of the hunt, really. Plus, what I like about boot sales is I have no idea what I'm looking for until I find it. You know what I mean? You wander up and down, and I've got 100 or 1,000 things in my head that I think I might find. But yeah, it's always a surprise what I come back with.
Yeah,
It's just
and that's one of the benefits of being a generalist. I mean, I've said this to Joe, and Joe messaged me about it. That he said that one of the boot sales he went to, if he'd have just been going and looking for trainers, then he would have maybe come away with one pair. But now he's buying. Now he's been infected by the generalist bug. He bought loads. He made out like a bandit and had loads. But that's the thing. It's walking around and having all this stuff in your head which you're looking for. And my competition is there. I see them all the time. I've got different names for them. And like there's this one woman who I affectionately call the Ginger. She's got this huge ginger like perm, and all she looks for is gold and silver. And I've seen her rummaging through stuff, and in front of her has been like something that is like worth 20 quid for 50p, and she's blindly missing it. So it just shows you really it's good to be a specialist, but I think at car boots really you've got to be a generalist.
Yeah, I don't know if you find this, but sometimes I get blind to stuff as well though, because there are certain things that obviously I'm drawn to. So, you know, if you see a stack of games, it draws your eye, and likewise with board games or whatever it is. And I have to force myself to, look at those and then take a step back and look across the table slowly, because I miss stuff. And it really winds me up when I'm at a stall and I've looked through a pile of PS2 games and I've taken 2 or 3 minutes to look at them, and there's nothing in there worth anything. And just there in the middle of the table was something worth, like you said, 20, 30 quid, like a Kenwood mixer or something. And just as I turn my head, someone picks it up and goes, "Here, there's £1," and walks off. It's like, ugh. So it's tricky. I mean, I have to really force myself to look at pretty much everything and try and assess what's there. But it's not easy to do.
Yeah, I intentionally don't watch any YouTube videos the night before a car boot sale, because whatever that person picked up, I'll be looking for, and it'll blind me to everything else. So, yeah, but it's one of those things, like you said, with computer gaming. It's all too easy to get in there and look at it, but actually, computer games and stuff like that, there really isn't that much money in it. Some of the profit margins on board games are insane compared to computer games. So
well, it's like any market. If you find the sort of sought after stuff, then your quid's in. It's like with PS2, 90% of PS2 games aren't going to earn you much more than 2 or 3 quid. But if you find those certain ones, you can make a killing. It's the same with board games. Most of them, it's just going to be your sort of £10 mark, which is fine from 50p.
Yeah.
If you find the 40, 50 quid board games, that's winner.
I actually, you picked up that Friends Seen It. I actually bought that, on the bank holiday. But mine was new and sealed, and I sent mine into Amazon, and I got $36.99 for it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. But that's because it was new and sealed. But even used ones, I think they were going for about 20 quid, something like that, for a used one, 15, 20 quid. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't scanned all of that into Amazon yet. All I did before that video, I just did some completed searches on eBay, and they weren't going for that much on there, about 10, 12. But I did have a message from somebody on my channel saying that he gets near 15, 20 on eBay, but I haven't checked Amazon. That'd be ideal, actually. If I can just scan them straight onto there, you get shot of them on Amazon.
Yeah, I've sold that James Bond Seen It before both on eBay and on Amazon, but that goes for a sort of similar sort of price. I think it's around 10 quid.
Yeah, there's not a lot of money in that. I mean, I've never really done the Seen It's. I think I dabbled in them a year or two back, but the kind of bog standard ones, and got my fingers burnt a bit with them because they're so common.
Yeah.
And I've kind of blanked them out, but I saw a few people talk about the Friends one, so I thought I'd take a chance. And there's money in that. So
Cool.
I think. Go on.
Have you? I've just saw. Have you had a chance to check the comments to see if anybody's? I can't do it on mine.
No, I don't know. Let's have a look.
No.
I don't really know how to do it, and I'm scared of closing the wrong window and it'll vanish.
Don't worry.
No, I don't know.
Well, we'll try and reply to the comments in the comments section. Yeah, we'll have to do this again, Nick. Keep it a semi-regular thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go and get some food. If you want to wrap this up.
Yep, sounds good. And apologies to everyone if we've waffled a bit about festivals and other stuff. But yeah, we'll try and come with some questions next time.
Yeah. Well, lovely to speak to you as ever, Tom. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
And no doubt I'll speak to you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All right then, buddy.
See you later then.
All right, take care.